Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to a Coder's Journey. This is the last episode of our uh, series about the result pattern and the Ardalis.result NuGet package. I just wanted to create this last episode to wrap up things and invite you to watch some other related playlists, like for example, the playlist that I'm going to create about the guard clauses, and I want to create another playlist for implementing CQRS using the mediator library. Uh, so what I wanted to tell you again is that in the repository that I have created in GitHub, you can find the different branches of each episode, and I am going to put the link to that repository in the description of each episode of this playlist. If you take a look here, I am on the master branch. We've got all these different branches. We've got 6 branches, and if you navigate to each branch from the repository, you will get the code in the solution. You will get the code as it was at the end of that specific episode. So if, for example, I go to episode number 6, you will see the changes or the things that we have done at the end of episode number 6. Uh, Basically, what we did was that we first created a console application. We implemented the result and the generic result class ourselves to better understand what this pattern tries to resolve. Then we created an invoice service. We talked about the approaches that we have all adopted in the past, returning a boolean, for example, from this operation, or throwing exceptions, for example. And we discussed why those are not appropriate approaches. And then we try to use those 2 classes that we have created, the result and result of t. And then during the next episodes, the next 5 episodes, we try to take things to the next level by creating an API project. So little by little, we took the example to the next step. We created an invoice entity, then an invoice service. The invoice service has a couple of operations. We didn't have an actual database because I didn't want to deal with creating and setting up a real database. We kind of simulated our interactions with the database, and then we created like the controller that interacts with this service to do different operations. And of course, it exposes different endpoints to the client. And we also talked about the other features of the Ardalis.result package. For example, the fact that it helps us return a specific statuses from the service class, right? We also talked about the fact that we can automatically map what we get from the service to what we are going to return from our endpoint using this attribute or using this extension method to action result. We also talked about the map method, which is something that you get from the Ardalis.result class. And one very legitimate use case for using this map uh, is to like map from your entity to your DTOs, because when you're interfacing with your database, more often than not, you're working with entities. When you're fetching data from your database, you're working with entities. But when you want to expose them, sometimes you want to work with DTOs for many different reasons. So instead of doing the mapping manually in the controller, you can use the map method. And of course, there are other viable options, like for example, AutoMapper as a NuGet package that can do the mapping for you based on the profiles that you create. And that's a wrap for this playlist. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to give the videos a like, share them with your friends, and also leave a comment if you've got anything to say. I'd be more than happy to get into a discussion with you. If you want me to create a video about a specific topic, you just need to drop me a line, and I will try my best to create, a video about that topic. And of course, again, don't forget that you can find the whole, solution in my GitHub repository. All you need to do is to go to the description of each episode in the, playlist and click on that hyperlink that will get you to the page of the repository which hosts this, solution. Again, thank you for sticking till the very end. I will see you in the next playlist. Bye bye.